broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
You know it. Around the world, everybody eats. It's a thing. We eat. And we love Hell's Kitchen. 75 countries, downloads on iTunes up in the millions. Thank you so much for locking into the number one Hell's Kitchen after show right here on AfterBuzz TV. My name is Leo Quinones. I can't cook, but I love watching cooks, probably like you. And again, it's all about Gordon Ramsay, season 14, Hell's Kitchen, 9 chefs competing, and again, a whirlwind episode. And it wouldn't be an after show unless we delivered, and that's what we expect to do every single time. So hanging on right now is Christine Haze 10 on Twitter. That's at Christine Haze 10, the one and only Christine Hazel from Philadelphia. Christine, I'm sorry, but I'm so glad that you're here with us on the Hell's Kitchen After Show.
Oh, hi guys. Unfortunately, I'm here, but I am happy to see you guys.
Well, we're very happy to see you. Let's go back and talk Hell's Kitchen. How would you surmise your experience in HK?
I would say I'm really happy I did it. I had a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of interesting people. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my ride along was pretty smooth for the most part when it came to, I guess, how I'm portrayed.
Who do you consider to be lifelong friends from the contestants that you competed against?
I would say right now, Chef Megan and Chef Michelle and Chef Adam. They're people that I talk to on a daily basis.
What do you guys talk about?
Probably will for a long time.
What do you talk about?
What do you mean?
What do you guys talk about? I mean, friends, what are you guys talking about now? Are you talking about the seasons, viewing parties?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's always nice to have someone you can relate to and talk about these situations, and I guess talk about all the things that happen behind the scenes that you guys don't see. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to have another person that you can chat it up with a little bit. And Adam lives close by in Jersey, so we go to each other's viewing parties or see each other a lot. So.
All right. Well, again, let's go through the episode. And it started off in a very, you always expect a challenge with Gordon Ramsay. What was your reaction to the reptilian gathering around you? Are you scared? Does that give you the heebie-jeebies, or are you kind of cool with all those exotic animals around you?
I was in panic mode. I couldn't even handle it. I don't do snakes or spiders, and the only thought that was going through my mind was that I'm really gonna have to deep fry a tarantula at this point, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. I was like, all right, this might be it. I might be going home. I don't think I could actually tackle that spider.
Have you seen the episode of Gordon's Great Escapes where he goes to Cambodia and he deep fried one of those mother effers and he shoves it in his mouth? I think I'm
impressed by that. I didn't get to see it, but maybe I should have watched it. I would have been better off on the challenge.
If my memory serves me correct, Christine, I think he said the taste was pussy.
Oh. That's always what I want to hear. Pussy when it comes to describing food. Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's talk about your exotic protein. You had to work with ostrich, right?
Yes, I worked with ostrich, and I've never worked with ostrich before. So I was a little nervous, but then it just looked like another lean protein. So I was happy. I darted right for it because I was afraid what was underneath the other plates. I was just getting a little nervous. Mm-hmm. I felt pretty good going into it. And then didn't do so well. They were actually really tough judges, to be honest. Really tough on mostly everyone. I felt like they didn't they didn't give us much support.
All right. Well, let's talk about the red team. Who do you think was the friend or foe? Who was your greatest friend, and who would you say was your greatest foe on the red team?
I think that might change from the beginning towards the end of my run on Hell's Kitchen. In the beginning, my biggest foe was Monique. She was kind of that thorn in my side that just wouldn't go away. Everything I had to do in the kitchen, and they would pair me up with her. And unfortunately, it was just her personality from in the house to in the kitchen. It just drove me insane. Like I couldn't be bothered with her.
Right.
So we definitely are not friends now.
Okay. And
I would say later on, like the episode that we just saw, the last 2 episodes, I would say Allison, and partially because I guess she was, the next one that was above me in the rankings per se, but she was always pointing the finger at me so that the finger never got pointed at her. So it was kind of annoying to deal with at times.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this Cook for Your Life challenge. But before we get to the Cook for Your Life challenge, let's talk about you marching upstairs. What was that day like, or that evening like, when you were individually called up into Chef Ramsay's office for a one-on-one assessment? What was that day or night like?
It was a little nerve-wracking just because we had just come off a loss from the challenge, and I just had to drink a Gator milkshake, which was not cool. It's not happy with that. My stomach was in shambles at that point. I was excited to talk to Chef Ramsay because I wanted to actually give him, I guess, a little sense of who I was and why I was the way I was in the kitchen and in the house. And I thought he could see that I did have confidence. It's just I wasn't trying to, I guess, just make a scene for no reason or call attention to myself just because the cameras were there. So I wanted him to know that I was serious. So I thought it was a great opportunity for that. And I think it went pretty well. I just have a different way, I guess, of dealing with things than others do in the house.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a gang up on you, Christine, because during these one-on-ones with Chef Ramsay, the red team seemed to come up under the consensus that you were the weakest chef. What's your take on that?
Well, after they only show some of, I guess, the rankings of people on the show, I guess. But Michelle did not vote me in. And I'm pretty sure someone else didn't either, but I guess we'll never know. It's just a matter of, I think I was going in because I was already up 3 times throughout the season, but I kept sending people home. Every person that would come up against me would get sent home. And I think there wasn't many other people in my kitchen that were left that were even up for elimination. So I was the easy target at that point. I had the least amount of experience, but I think that I also showed the most growth at that point. I went into this as a culinary student, and that was really my first kitchen that I've ever worked in outside of school. So I don't know, it was kind of crazy for me at first, but I think towards the end I showed a lot of improvement, and it was just coming off my best service where I was working hot apps by myself. The time for that I worked garnish, and I was doing these stations by myself, and I think Chef had seen my groove. And then also I discussed with him that you guys don't see, but in the individual challenges until this ostrich challenge, I did pretty well and I've held my own. It was just, I think, more tough for me to succeed with my team in the kitchen.
Let's go back just a few minutes in last night's episode, or the last episode. They did create an exotic milkshake for you, and I want, we saw the highlights of it on Fox. We might have seen 45 seconds of you guys choking it down. I want you to stop time for a minute, Christine. Take us all into the Hell's Kitchen dining room and kind of describe what kind of personal hell everybody was going into. Can you hear me there? Did I lose you? Did I lose you?
You're breaking up a little bit. I was trying to.
All right.
You're back, but you're breaking up a first.
I'm gonna rephrase the question. I'm gonna say it again. Okay. Take us back inside the Hell's Kitchen dining room, where the chefs prepared these exotic protein shakes for you. We only saw 45 seconds. I want you to talk about going around the table and just seeing everyone and yourself drinking that horrendous prepared dessert.
Well, we didn't know which protein was in which milkshake, unfortunately, so it was kind of like a guessing game.
Yeah.
I got the Gator milkshake, which was quite chunky and disgusting, and it just had like this texture. I have a texture issue. I can usually eat about anything, but this was warm, creamy milkshake with Gator in it. And I don't even, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And then when Michelle said that she got the real milkshake, everyone was really jealous. But they only show 45 seconds. Everyone's trying to like stomach it down. What they don't show is.
Wait. Pick it up from, because we lost you. Pick it up from what they don't show is. Start there.
Was there in the end. She, I guess, felt close to me, so she helped me drink the rest of my milkshake.
What? Wait.
Okay, so basically.
Yeah. One more time.
There we go. Okay. So what happens is we're sitting around this table. Michelle's so happy that she got her real milkshake. We're all jealous. But we do come together as a team. Michelle ends up helping me finish my milkshake because it was so gross. And we wanted to get out of there. So I guess me and Michelle did have a little team thing going there. It was nice.
She deserved the shake because the milkshake, right? Because she had a really nice Gator dish, right? That you guys didn't want to use. So
I mean, it wasn't just you guys. It's a matter of there was voices in our team that always got heard, and that's how it was. I could say what I wanted to, but some people just were louder, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they were better. It just means they were louder. It's like some people just said, "Oh, it is what it is. Turn around," and that's the voice that Chef was used to hearing. So.
Well, let's throw down right here because this is where the Hell's Kitchen fans come together. Who vomited from the exotic reptile shake? Who had gag reflex? And because it looked like Allison, before the commercial break, was spitting it out on the floor.
She was. They actually had little buckets ready for us, just in case. But they also showed T vomiting a little too. I made it to the bathroom afterwards to make sure, or to get rid of my milkshake. I forced it up. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't want that sitting in my stomach all day.
Oh, you did the 2 fingers down, out?
I had to. I was like, I know this is going to be a long day, and it wasn't sitting right. So I made it to the bathroom at least, though.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I didn't want to be seen puking on national television.
Yeah, I know. It'll be in the uncut version of Hell's Kitchen season 14. Don't you worry about that. I mean, the bathrooms are taped. How do you feel about bathrooms and dorms being taped?
It was kind of weird to get used to at first. I'm not gonna lie. I would make fun of the camera guys. I'm like, why do you guys want to listen to this? This is just weird. But it ended up working out to their advantage in the Brett situation. So for his got sent home. Yeah. But they didn't really invade our privacy too much with that. You kind of just get used to it.
Best reward moment for the red team that you experienced. What was it?
I would say when we got to go out on the sailboat and Chef Ramsay joined us. We had like a whole raw bar set up. We had cocktails and things going on. And then I'd have to say horseback riding in Arizona.
All right. What an incredible experience this Hell's Kitchen does for you. Worst moment, worst punishment, very worst moment.
I would say when we failed at the lunch service and we were out there, I guess, washing the fire trucks. And then we had to have 2 big pots of chili afterwards, which were 5-alarm chili, and we had to stomach it down. They only show it in the extended scenes, but you see I'm not happy, and I like curse Sarah out, and I tell her to shut the hell up and eat her chili, basically, and I'm just pissed at the world. Not pleased.
They made you eat buckets of chili. I mean, the punishments never end in Hell's Kitchen. Now, let's talk about you get voted to cook, and Randy gets voted to cook on the blue team. And tell me about what it was like, because it's very rare that you have to cook for your life. I mean, that had to catch you off guard just right there, did it not?
It was a little shocking at first, but just because we've had such a long day, we had the challenge, we had the punishment, then we had the interviews with Chef. We basically thought our day was over. So you're thinking, all right, tomorrow's a new day, go get some rest. And then he throws this curveball at you, and you got to bring your A game and get ready. And knowing that your team just sent you in, so it's kind of like a punch in the gut. And you could see Randy was not happy about that either. He was really pissed at his team, and he was angry. I was just trying to block them out, to be honest. I mean, you see their reactions during it, and some are very supportive, and others it's just like smirking and not happy.
Do you think it was a ploy on both the red team and the blue team to just get a good player out of the game?
I think no, honestly, because we didn't know what that ranking was going to be beforehand. We didn't know that was coming. So I think more or less people were just showing, like, this is my thought. It's in the kitchen. They already had sent me up before, so I was the obvious choice, I think, to the red team. And I don't think it was a ploy. I think they wanted to keep me around because then I'd be the buffer for the next challenger if we lost in service. So I think you want to keep your team bigger because then there's more of a pool and less likely of you to get voted in.
A very good point there. So what's it like trying to listen to Gordon Ramsay call out a food order when he talks so friggin' fast, Christine?
Honestly, that was one of the toughest things I had to get used to. He'd be like, for risotto, blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, seriously? I would know. That's what those shock faces where you see me going like, whoa, like, what was that? Because I just couldn't understand what he was saying. I think you don't have tickets in Hell's Kitchen. You don't get to have like a normal restaurant where you have something in front of you and you can just keep track. It's a matter of understanding him, number one, processing that information, and then executing it. I can execute it. Just have to hear it. So he would run away and I'd be like, Chef Andy, I need help. Just like repeat it back to me in a slower format.
It just seems like such a trial by fire. So then you're doing dinner service and you're doing battle. You're in the trenches of kitchen warfare there. But in this Cook for Your Life challenge, you're presented opposite Randy to cook by yourself in Hell's Kitchen. What was that like?
I kind of felt in my comfort zone. Just because I wasn't with my team, I felt good about it. I feel even when they show it on the show, I feel I looked poised and confident. You did definitely look poised. So let's talk about it dish by dish by dish. The lobster risotto. Now, have you dunked a lot of live lobsters in boiling pots of water before Hell's Kitchen? That was, I think, my first one.
Wow.
But it was fun, It's an experience, a learning experience. But he actually didn't have a problem with my lobster at all.
No.
More or less my team getting nervous. I knew what I had to get out of it. I mean, what we were making that day wasn't normally the format of us making it. We're not usually starting off with a whole lobster when we go to make our risotto.
Sure. And you only had 30 minutes, too, for 3 dishes.
Yeah, so I was getting that thing in there.
Yeah.
Better get ready.
All right. So, and the chef, Ramsay, made you the bread pudding, the anglaise?
All right. So the bread pudding we had to make from scratch. You see a loaf of bread, which is not normally like that. And I didn't see the base. I think it was in the fridge in the bottom, like hidden, and I didn't see it, to be honest. So I thought that if I don't see it, I have to make it just like everything else, like with the whole lobster and with everything else, we were starting from scratch. So I figured it was just part of the process. I better be prepared. I knew how to make it, so it wasn't an issue, just a little time consuming.
Right. But it seemed like, I think he said tenacity was the word he used in describing you making your own, which was, I thought that was a credit to you.
I feel it was definitely a credit to me. It was just showing that I was taking matters in my own hands. I wasn't going to let these things stop me. And even if I feel like he was happy with my risotto, I forgot to put the tomato jam on, which was already made. That doesn't take any skill. He liked the way my actual risotto was cooked. So that's what I was happy with. And I didn't spoon a little jam on. I forgot that because, honestly, we don't usually plate the dishes. Someone else is doing them. I was so worried about executing the dish, seasoning.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but and this may be a little bit wonky, maybe too chefy or too cooky, but in the inner workings of Hell's Kitchen, isn't it like cooking on a volcano? I mean, the heat that comes out of that kitchen?
Oh my goodness, it is hot in there. I feel like my face is always flushed, like maybe because I'm so pale, but
no, I mean the fire that comes out.
And you have the spotlights and the cameras, and you're sweating bullets, basically.
No, I mean like the heat that you're cooking with is so powerful.
Yes, on the flat.
Oh, we lost that. Give me that answer again. So I'll start again. So
especially
one more time. Let's do that one more time because I lost you. Just say the heat that you're cooking with. Have you ever cooked on anything quite that powerful before?
No, I would say it was always cranking in there, and I guess that's like a metaphor as well, that it's very hot in Hell's Kitchen.
All right. Is there any any moment, any candid moment that you hope never airs on the season 14 uncensored DVD that'll be out in a few months?
I mean, I don't think so. I think I knew what I was doing. I didn't do anything that embarrassed myself or I regret. I was proud of everything I did. I think it was kind of tough to be on on national television in a bikini, but I got over that real quick. That was one of the ones, but they showed it briefly. Other than that, like, I feel like I was proud of every single thing I did out there, and I wasn't embarrassed, so they can bring it on in the extended scenes.
All right, let's go back to the Cook for Your Life challenge. I know we only have a few minutes left here, and we got to go here. This is the weirdest way I've ever seen a contestant eliminated this way. Usually you come in and, Gordon, why should you stay in Hell's Kitchen? It wasn't like that at all. So why don't you pick it up from you standing there with Randy and then Chef Ramsay's decision. Take it away from there. Okay.
Well, the first thought that came to my head is I had the utmost respect for Randy, and me and him were friends in the house. We bonded and we had like similar experiences. So that was kind of tough, but I just blocked everything out. And I literally just thought nothing other than about the 3 dishes that he said we had to make. And I was going over the steps in my mind, making sure I wasn't going to miss anything. And I had about a minute before we had to run in the kitchen. Right. So I just had a game plan and I was focused. That's all I was thinking about. I wasn't worried about my team sitting over there or making any comments. I was really just focused on the dishes because, I mean, it's all about just executing the dishes, and that's all. If I did that properly and still had Chef's confidence, I think I still would be there. I think that I maybe lost his confidence a little bit.
Did you think you were going to get to stay in the Cook for Your Life challenge? Were you surprised by Chef's decision to keep Randy?
Honestly, when we got up there and he reviewed all of our dishes, it was neck and neck. I think no one knew who was going to stay, and it was just a matter of whatever was going through Chef's brain. We had little mistakes, but we equally, like, I plated the halibut better. He dumped all the clams on top of it, and it wasn't at all what it should have been appearance-wise, but I had a little bit dry of the bread pudding. We basically were equal on the risotto, except that Chef actually said that my risotto was looser and a little bit better. So nice. For me, I didn't know. I was just sitting there waiting, and
well, you were classy to the very end. The long walk out of Hell's Kitchen. I'm sure you have a bright culinary future. You're probably lighting it up at Chickies and Pete's over there, the casino. So thank you so much, Christine. We appreciate it, and we can follow you on Twitter at Christine Haze 10. Thank you so much for being here on the Hell's Kitchen After Show. And thank you for being here. And if you love Hell's Kitchen, keep downloading us on iTunes. Thank you, Kevin Undergaro, Maria Menounos, and you, Hell's Kitchen fans, for being right here every single time. Leo Quinones, we'll see you right back here on the Hell's Kitchen After Show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.